like you. Chat, good morning. Close out OBS and shit. Twitter. I was on scrolling for just a little second. It's VGC, Pokemon. I know shit random as fuck to be streaming, but I was like, yo, let's watch the VGC and then play some Fortnite, you know? I mean, I only really, if I'm being honest, care about Wolfie's games. I don't know when he's gonna play. We probably will miss it most of the time because I'll still be playing Fortnite. But I thought, yo, this would be fun to have in the background, you know? Come back here, visit every once in a while. I would not say I'm the best like Pokemon commentary. It's been a while. I've like barely ever played Pokemon comp. But I do watch a lot of Wolfie's videos, and I never like played competitive Pokemon like for real. But I did have interest in it. I play a lot of Showdown and shit. So we're just gonna chill out. I've got breakfast here to eat in 30 minutes so that's also why this is here. And I'll eat breakfast earlier if Wolfie's game is next. But they're just doing an interview with this guy right now. So I also don't know who's like good and who like to keep an eye on besides Wolfie Glick. As a Wolfie Glick fan, hope to see that man win. If he don't, he don't. But I think also there's like Wolf's friend like Marco or something, who I heard is really good. He could win, but other than that, everyone else here is like a dark horse for me. So, you know, which how it's always been. I remember the first time I ever watched competitive Pokemon was 2016 VGC, which I'm pretty sure is the one Wolfie won, which is funny. But I remember I didn't know who any of the players were. I was watching it live because it was live at the time. I remember I was like, oh, Wolfie looks like an asshole. This is before I had ever watched like a Wolfie video. I was like, this guy looks like a prick. I don't want to win, and then he won. I was like, damn. But obviously I like him now and I fuck with that shit. But I just find it funny how shit works out. So yeah, that's about it. I have a Red Bull. I'm gonna chug this shit. I have to work at 3, so honestly I have to hit the gym. I should get off earlier, but I think I might just stream the whole time. I low-key might just stream until like 2:30. It's not even that long, so I might just skip the gym today. There's plenty of time to hit the gym tomorrow and shit. Damn, this one already being put in the best shotguns in Fortnite history is kind of crazy. That's crazy. Damn. 12 billion is crazy. The Logan Paul haircut. Alright, bad this shit. It only goes up 5 seconds. I don't like my fucking keyboard keeps getting stuck. Alright, let's see what they're saying. Oh, it's an ad. 7 minutes. You know what's funny? This shit's 7 minutes. Hold on. We could literally play. I already have Fortnite open. We can't play zero build. We could quite literally play a game of Blitz though. So I guess that's what we'll do. Lucky. I mean, I'm already just becoming the best zero build player. Yeah, I'm just chilling today. I'm in a good mood, a good morning. I mean, I do have to like. It sucks I have to go up early because normally I don't work till 4, but fuck ass shit is happening at this place I'm quitting soon though to be full time at a different job. Basically, it's a whole ordeal with me, but it's still gonna be night shifts, so I'm kind of stuck with like morning stuff. The problem is the gyms don't stay open that late, bro. I can't go at like 9 p.m. because they all close. So it's like, ugh. It's like fuck out of here. I understand, but it's annoying. I just have to get up early. Today I could have gone, but I want to hang out with my girlfriend before she works. She worked out. She had to leave at 10:30, and then I just go a little longer than I intended to, and I take a fat shit. So. your surroundings, Frederick. I don't know what's better, the banana or and bang! 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 Yeah, sorry, bro. I don't know how I got mark on it, but I did. And bang! I know it's like meant to be a mobile game mode. I thought it was already gonna be gone by now. But let's go. Free. What a free fucking game mode. All right, hold on. I think that took us probably like what, like 3 minutes or some shit. Also, I don't know for sure yet if I'm gonna do that, but I was thinking about streaming right now and then just any stream when it's time to go to work, and then maybe streaming later tonight. I was thinking about just going to the gym and then streaming later at night, but I decided that I was fine with just streaming right now. 2 minutes. We can play one more game of Blitz, 100%. Yeah, week 9. I thought it was supposed to just last a month, but maybe I'm tripping, or maybe it was such a big hit that they were like, "Oh, just keep it." I mean, it clearly have like 80k players, but like I saw like what, like 4 people who were actual humans in that match. We'll say Blitz is pretty decently fun. I definitely think I could. I'm fully 100% go. I could go pro zero build so easily. I know like we haven't fully gotten into like good lobbies and ranks yet. I've been having a lot of fun doing that shit, but I still hold myself to that. Like, yeah, 100%. Alright, literally all 3 of these people are really. I feel like the next progression of this is first round. And then you just like, you double the lane for like 10 minutes and you just run reload. I don't know though. Maybe I'm a tripper for that. You're really not a single other solo building part. Also, the banana just doing no healing is crazy. How that gave me like 10 HP. I thought it was like an instant 200. Damn, bro. I got pickaxe too. That's kind of unlucky. After just talking my shit too. Very unlucky. Sounds like Wolfie might be out.
Yeah, is looking to be the first player to win a world championship in the seniors division and in the masters division.
That is so cool.
And he's doing it with the Lunala Miraidon team that everyone had pegged as one of the best teams coming into this tournament. I think people were expecting it to be Luca potentially piloting, of course. But in the end, it's going to be Code that's bringing it all the way to the top right now.
I know. I'm going to try and get an interview later if I can. But to give another update, to check my notes, I swear I'm not texting. It looks like Giovanni Siske, Giuseppe, who I just spoke with, Hirofumi, Mao, Harada, Michael Kelsch, and Naoto Kishida have all locked in cut. So congratulations to them. And we'll be seeing who else will lock in cut later, just like we're seeing Lee. What is this?
Hey, man,
How did you get here?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. I'm excited for today. It's going to be amazing. You know, we had such an incredible day yesterday, being able to feature so many top players, and we're getting into that period of the tournament now where everything's on the line to just progress to that next stage, and it's so exciting to see everything unfold and who will be moving into that top cut. So yeah.
Would you like to see a feature match while we wait to see what that is?
Would love to. Yes.
Well, I can queue up Shinsuke Minami versus Hirofumi Kimura for y'all if you want to get that going.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and roll that beautiful footage when it's ready? We do have to wait a second for them to get it ready. I caught them off guard.
I was just singing Hirofumi's praises, but I cannot express like how good he is at this game. To win the Japanese national championships multiple times is one of the most incredible feats in competitive VGC, because the Japanese circuit in particular is so brutal. There's even more variance because, first of all, to even qualify for Japanese nationals, you have to go through this online circuit where you're literally playing best of one, closed team sheet. I think it's it's like 10, 20 games. That's all you get. And so there's so many incredible players from Japan. The team building from Japan is often just so exceptional and creative as well. You do that just to make it into the tournament. The tournament then is also this weird structure where it's often closed team sheet best of one for the first phase, then it's like closed team sheet best of three, and then like open team sheet best of three, and so it's like you're playing 3 different formats all in once, which is absolutely crazy as well. But here we go, and it's gonna be Groudon hitting the field and Koraidon hitting the field, so Sun on both sides and Smeargle as well.
Are we gonna be doing Moody Boosts in Japanese? Is this a throwback?
Yeah.
All right, I should have studied this going into this tournament. This is like the one time I didn't. Oh well, but it's interesting though to see what I would assume is 2 different takes on a very similar idea. You know, you have your Sunsetter with the Koraidon and the Groudon, and then you have the Smeargle there for disruption with Spore, with redirection, with I'm assuming Spiky Shield and Fake Out are the other moves that they're running right now, right?
Yeah, I believe there's a Runation Smeargle running into this event.
Okay, well, at least the Smeargle on our side of the field had 2 normal moves and 2 grass moves, so no ruination.
I thought I saw a dark type attack on the Smeargle here.
Really?
Yeah, I could be wrong.
I think there was,
shoot, maybe I missaw. Oh no, okay, well, that was a Spore. So we're not going to find out anything other than that just yet.
The Smeargle wars, I think, are a nightmare because you often will just run max speed, right? And so whoever wins the speed type with the Smeargles is such a big deal because then you're just able to get a potential Spore off beforehand. But yeah, this reminds me of like Worlds 2016 where we like printed out all the Japanese and we're like, okay, this is what the Moody Boost is, but now you've got double Smeargle on the field, and so...
And not only that, I think back in 2019, the games didn't have as much kanji support. So like, I can do a little bit of hiragana and katakana, but kanji is where I'm just completely lost. So I'm so sorry. This is way beyond my depth right now. Maybe I can pull it up real quick, actually.
One of the things I want to highlight is how often you're seeing players drop their second restricted Pokemon throughout this event. It's so frequent, it feels like. You just have to know when is the right match to do it, because it's obviously a big risk, right? But in this case, we saw Hirofumi dropping his other restricted, and I think, yeah, it's so interesting to see Groudon in general. It feels like a lot of people have been pairing Ice Rider with Groudon and Ice Rider with Koraidon coming into this event. And we were talking so much about Groudon yesterday. Will it be able to have the success that people thought it might have? Because it really started rising up very quickly coming into this tournament.
Yeah, it seems like a really popular combination that's just, doing so well as well coming into this event. And a lot of players probably haven't prepared super hard going into that matchup, so it's nice to see it kind of doing well. I wonder if this Smeagol there on Hirafumi's side got maybe a speed drop.
Maybe.
And why he switched it out. Because in that scenario, you feel like you could have just kept it in and maybe gone for the Spore into the Groudon, shut it down for a turn. And yeah. Orlando coming in, that was nice.
The Koraidon here, you know, shows its bulk, by the way, right? Takes 2 different Presence Blades. Lander's a really nice switch in. I think it's like Landers is great if you're able to eliminate the Ice Rider. I think Ice Rider is just a nightmare kind of for Landers often to deal with here. But it switched in on a Flame Charge and it took over half its health, right? So it's dangerously low. And that just makes it so much harder. I think Ice Rider is such an incredible Pokemon into Landers' Koraidon if it's at full health and has the ability to, you know, go for like a defensive Terra, for example.
Yeah.
But taking that much damage on the switch, it never feels great.
No, and now it's probably going to be KO'd. Yeah, there it is. Interesting that the Groudon was left alone, but knowing that the Koraidon could just protect, it's a really safe play for Hirafumi.
Yeah, and there's the Precipice Blades coming out, so you're in a nice spot as well, and it feels so difficult now to kind of get any momentum swing if you're the Groudon player. You know, even the Smeagol coming back in, it's asleep, it's not really going to have any sort of disruption, impact, support. The Groudon's still pretty healthy, but you kind of don't want to even look into that Terastallization until you get rid of that Landorus. And now that the Landorus hasn't really got the threat of that Ice Rider.
I'm gonna mute because Landorus is so tough. Not because I actually like the commentators, but just because I feel like I'm stealing their content and everyone should just watch their stream if I'm just gonna sit here silently and have it their sound. So yeah, maybe it's the qualifiers. It could be qualifiers, I guess. I didn't even think about that. Pokemon is such an interesting game. Like, competitive Pokemon is so interesting to me. Because, like, I feel like one part of me is like, I would love to play competitive Pokemon, but the other part of me is like, nah, fuck that shit. Like, you have to, I'm pretty sure there's cheats to get them in, but, like, you are, so, like, the thought process, I'm pretty sure, for at least the first user Pokemon, is that you grind your Pokemon up, you give them moves, IVs, EVs, abilities, you farm them, like, you train them up, like, for real, and then you bring them. Like, it's not like Showdown where you, like, kind of put your team together. That's why I never really, like, played real competitive Pokemon, I feel like, because there's a lot more grinding involved than you would think of the not-so-fun stuff, but maybe I'm tripping. The Koraidon goes down here. I don't really know who is the better matchup here. I think they're both down 1 Pokemon. Although Groudon has taken, I was about to say Groudon has taken not that much damage, but he's out. He's gone. Smeagol's back out, still asleep from the Spore. We'll go back to Fortnite after this round, because this isn't best of 1. It should be best of 3. So, but whoever, they just skipped over the ending. I mean, this is a review. This isn't a live match, but that was weird. Yeah, it's just a match review, so. Well, I thought we would see the end of that one, but I guess not, so I'm just gonna jump out this bitch and we're just gonna go back to playing Fortnite. Zero build. 8,000 people are playing zero build right now. That's so bad. Battle Pass is so interesting. You have the Green Ranger, which is a 6 skin. You also get his White Ranger style, which, you know, that's fucking lit. And this skin is a straight bad ting. A straight bad ting. Bad ting right here, bad ting. But then the rest of the Battle Pass is kind of mid. Panda skin, don't care. The Halo crossover is kind of cool. Shield. Ball variation, don't care. Don't care. Yeah. Okay, wait. This glider's kind of sick. But you can get this for free. So I don't know. This glider is fucking cool though. Backbling? What is backbling? Wait, you can't get her pickaxe, but you can get her pickaxe. I'm so confused. The edit style is free? Kind of fucked up. It's gonna take a second to find a game because everybody who plays Zero Build is probably fucking not even playing. Noon. 101.3 KDWB Minneapolis. I need to get like a strict playlist, like kind of like lo-fi, no copyright music. I like rap, so that'd be nice to have. But that doesn't really work all the time. Plus, like, I need to just kind of sit in the background while I'm playing the games and while I'm doing stuff. Hip hop's good if I'm just like chatting to you guys. I feel like depends on the vibe I'm on. Copyright from the Fortnite. Alright, we figured out the strategy. Go here, get that. Go Hive. Wipe the lobby. It's a victory. I neutralize the threat, does it spawn the boss faster? It seems like you don't need to neutralize the threat to the boss spawn. It kind of just does that on its own. Fuck off. Where'd all my shit go? Get my fucking bounty back, bro. He ran away like a pussy. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting too mad. I'm the one who's gonna wait first. I'm the one who's wrong. Sorry about it. It's gonna be really bad if he gets this one. Behind you, sir. Whoa! I think I got my shit. I think that's the one I was flying at. I don't know if that guy yoinked it, but I think that's what I was flying at. He still has so many more too. Oh, he's found his head. Oh my god, he's infinite. Wow. That's crazy. That's so many different levels of insane. The fact that he just had, I'm pretty sure I had like maxed out rockets too at the start of that, so. That's fucking insane. gap between impressed and pissed. On the one hand, I'm impressed they was able to put such a good run up, but on the other hand, I'm distraught. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck you mean he got away? Away! Hey, there's a guy right here. On my DMR. I remember to aim true, aim steady, bro. He's in there. Outside zone. I think I'm not gonna be able to reach it in time, but man, fuck this place. Well, it's 1v1. I win this shit easy. I think he's over there. Somehow. I have a DMR, so I get this on my list. Alright, Chad, do I do something crazy? He's gonna be full of 100 fields, Alright, shit is so easy, bro. I probably hit Unreal by the end of the day, type shit. Hold on, let's go see what's cracking. No games being played right now. That's okay. All right. Back to the gulag. Today was gonna be leg day, so I guess I can skip leg day, you know what I'm saying? Never skip leg day. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's chest and shoulders. Yeah, because yesterday I did back and bi. I'll do chest and shoulders tomorrow, leg day on Monday, and then I'll do free day Tuesday. Free days are just what I call when I want to do whatever the fuck I want. And then we reset the cycle. That shit. I should have hit a run before I started streaming, but I decided I would just do it after. I was going to run before work. Just to burn off some calories and shit, especially on days where I don't get to hit the gym. Well, it's not that I can't hit the gym, I just, you know. Dude, everybody be fucking steady blowing my phone. I told you before it's over, leave me alone. Dude, yesterday they had grade A or something. I don't know why I said or something. I know they had grade A. It's a Suicide Boys thing. I don't give a fuck. But I think it's crazy because I'm surrounded by a bunch of snakes, bro. Not me. My girlfriend's friends are kind of fucked up though. At least the friends I keep saying that she kind of got dropped them. Because they're not gonna watch the shit. They subscribe to the channel, they're not gonna watch the shit. So I'm just gonna air it out real quick. But they said that they'd all go together, and then they bought their tickets without her, like without even like texting her, like, hey, we're gonna buy our tickets now. You should buy yours. And then they all went. And, like, I don't care about Suicide Boys at all. Like I would sit down on that shit. But like the fact that they did that is crazy. Hey, twins. How much y'all want to bet? Shotgun launcher does make the game way easier. Like my move is pretty decent, but I just think like getting caught out in the middle thing without like ability. But also at the same time I am a bit of a panic. I'm gonna keep talking my shit though. Until I play tournaments and get absolutely destroyed, I will keep. Alright, hopefully these are where lobbies start to get a little real. Even though the usernames are, most of them don't look at, this should be where people start being real people. Where like people actually have decent aim and we start getting fucked. Like I know last night, I think in my last game we did run into like a decent guy, and that's why I couldn't hit the repeat, because he actually beat my ass. I mean I also just take stupid plays, you know, but should be more consistently real people. Because we're in padlocks now. That's why we're most people end up. Yeah, I just feel like they keep just toxic, bro. And we have a group chat to text, like, making plans and shit. And they don't just, like, it's not just, like, my girlfriend will text and be like, hey, we should hang out. And then they're like, no, we can't. She'll be like, hey, we should hang out later. And then they just ignore it. It's, like, it's, like, annoying because they, like, feel like they can't hang out, especially if it's, like, all one thing I'm not even supposed to. That was one more guy here. Back up. I don't know why I 50-50 that. Whatever, we'll run it back. We'll run it back. We were bound to lose a game, you know? We can't just win every single game. Sucks that we lost though, because the guy just walked in the room and one-pumped me, and not because he like put up a good fight. He just literally he just walked in while I was looking the other way and just popped me once, and it did 100 damage. Whatever. There's a lot of stuff happening. I'm excited. I want to stream. I want to grind it, but I'm just gonna give you guys honestly. This channel has a 6-month timeline. I'm gonna lock it in, upload videos. Like once I get shit into momentum, try to stream like every day almost, and then start uploading videos again. And if that shit doesn't pop after 6 months, I'm gonna take it back. Like probably just I'll stream every once in a while, but cause I enjoy streaming. But like if I don't have like a decent couple viewers talking to me and I'm not like getting decent views on YouTube, I'll put it down. Cause like at the end of the day, this shit is a hobby, but also I would love to make the video game my career. And so if that shit doesn't pop up, I just gotta be really, I'm ready to drop it, you know, I gotta be ready to give it up. It's time to put the fucking pride back. Cause I've been kinda like, I hard grinded this for like 2 years straight, then I took a little, then I like slowed down last like a year, then last like 2 years, but I still like kinda was doing stuff. And now we're at a position, I'm at like a crossroads, right? It's like, one path is, I grind it out, maybe I get a following, I start making like just at least like a part-time career, like this isn't even a full-time job, but like just like a part-time thing. And then the other path is we pack it up, we put it away, and we don't look back. And I just play video games casually in my own time. I maybe occasionally stream, but I'm not like gonna put time and stress into it. There's another channel that I'm not gonna spoil anything about, but I also plan to do the same thing with that, and I'm probably gonna give that also like 3 to 6 months kind of my timeline here. Because by that time I will be like 6 months from now I will be 19 and a half years old. I just turned 19. And so like by that time I'll be nearing 20s, and if shit hasn't popped off by that point, I can't make it at least like a part-time career where it brings me any money, then it should just be a hobby and I should like push it out of my head. Like cause like my thing is like I want to grind it so that way like it could pop off and become a career, but like I'm okay with it just being a hobby. It just has to be like one of those things where I don't stress about it, cause I do think about this shit a lot. It's like, oh, I have to stream today because I'm trying to make this shit happen. But I'm also quite aware of the fact that I need to like move on. shit. Holy shit! God damn, there's so much shit. I was so ready to crash on the boat. So people do not kill the fucking hives, and so the boat's just instant spawn. And I don't know if people just don't know that's something you can do, but like it's so annoying. Come on, Jack, do I feel like crazy? I can double jump that? Imagine this can't. Imagine double jump. Non-stop wife. Okay. I'm better than you. See, that guy was chasing down McGee, but I'm just better. Fight under the bridge was crazy. I knew they'd fight each other. I don't know how they both died, but they did. I take it. What's crazy is I think this thing must have crazy range. I don't know what else I'm getting beat by. Motherfuckers just have the shotgun out and go pop, pop. I know the range got debuff, but I wonder if it's still hitting like 20 damage a piece. Especially since it's a mythic version. Yep, get out of your ride. My aim is the best thing you'll ever see. Other times, I just miss every fucking shot. Low-key, it'd actually be so much fun if Fortnite sides were always like this. I know that'd probably be too insane. Like the exact same thing that happens in build mode would happen in zero build, and that's a skill gap, but it would be so fun. They have to this, right? other guys who got missing, just leave them be, bro. Yup. Shitter. Dumbass shitter. Come here. Come here, boy. Ah! Oh, the fact I missed so many kills. Come here, boy. Clip that chat. Oh, kid does not know what happened to him. Fucking be the smarter player. Actually fucking invincible now. I'm just faster, I'm just stronger. Worst part is, I'm smarter too. Oh, it's all finished. Damn. I will probably die to that. If I die to anything, it will be because I took 20 fall damage. Either had 20 less HP to fight with, or because I deadass just fell off the map and died. Where's everybody else at? I can't tell if they're just hiding or if it's all just AI. I'd be careful. I do not want to get too ego though, because it is still 0 build, and without build, you still can get fucked by this shit. We're moving. This is a situation where the best defense is a good offense. I will always be faster than camping like a box thing. Like sitting still will probably get me killed. Especially if I'm full marked. Like. Six up. What are you doing, boys? Somebody just died. Also, I have to remember I don't win fights. And I don't just not win, I fucking... No, stop stealing all the kills. Where are you all hiding, bro? Were you all in the same spot? There's one guy. That's far away, though. that didn't count as a kill for me? Damn, that counts in my head. I literally broke the tree he was sitting in, and somehow that doesn't count as a kill for me. He's fucking terrified. Come here! I can't wait. Look, this might be a real person. Oh, no way that's a real person. Johnny, come here, baby girl. I caught him in the storm. Oh, he died. 100%. Oh, he did die. Pow! Big W's in the chat. We literally killed the last 3 people. That guy was horrified, bro. That guy was fucking... He was fucking shook. He saw me coming. He started panicking. He didn't hit the launch pad. He was so scared. Platinum 2. Big dubs, big dubs. Why the fuck did I start hearing scary ass music playing, bro? Alright, we'll check in the Pokemon stream again. I guess this isn't really a Pokemon stream. I thought I'd be doing more reacting, but I had a lot of fun cooking everybody in Zero build. What game are we watching? Is this a live game or is this a... Oh, this is Swiss round 10. Wait, we can just watch this one. Straight up. We'll do the same thing. We'll just watch one.
You get even less likely to succeed on that third protect, but if you feel like,
hey,
I can't win at all if I don't hit it, it's still better than nothing. Really tough spot. And nice play by Nick to keep this going, right? Where I wound up getting a situation that double protect, at least so far, hasn't really mattered.
He's trying to go for it again, and maybe that's because he thinks this Lunala is going to try to go for the Meteor Beam into the Calyrex, but this Rillaboom is still a problem. Nick's double protect is going to fail, and so is this, not the protect onto Chihong's Calyrex. So Woodhammer does get the knockout there, but what is this Lunala capable of? We'll find out. Woodhammer recoil is also going to make this a little bit tough, but as this Lunala lands the Meteor Beam into the Calyrex, it's just a one-hit knockout. And Chihong, wow, with the critical hit too. I wonder if that mattered.
Yeah, you'd assume Nick thought so, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't have gone for that double protect. Really wound up burning him to protect the previous turn. Usually it's so easy to play around the Meteor Beam after the power herb's gone because you have to worry about that. But really we're going to go for the U-turn here, do a decent amount of damage. But now that this Lunala special attack's been boosted, this is going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, even though this Rillaboom does have the self-fist, it's been taking the chip from those Woodhammers turn after turn, and Chihong pulls it out in this first game. That double protect so critical to allow this Lunala to go for that first setup turn of the Meteor Beam.
Looks like you just went through a battle there.
Lunala, it seems like the Lunala's kind of, I don't know what the move is. I haven't really updated on like the meta, but it looks like it's kind of like a Xerneas
it felt like it for a while. They're like, all right, yeah, this is an incredible start with that.
Somehow he was
switching at the expanding force off seems like such a big lead. And they did a really great job of getting himself back into it. I really do think it was that turn where both the Calyrex, the Protector, that kind of switched it back the other way, where going for the no power herb Meteor Beam, you don't see players even attempt it very much. There's just so many ways it can go wrong, but it was a really good read there, kind of anticipating his opponent would anticipate the double protect and open up that opportunity. Great job there to pick up that win. And hey, on Nick's side, you probably feel a little bad about it, where if that double protect doesn't happen, your Rillaboom picks up a knockout, and we're looking at a little different ending there. But still a lot of fun, and both players know that they can still win games in this set going into game 2.
But even if that double protect doesn't happen, think back to when Nick protected his own Calyrex and there was no wide guard on the Lunala. If you were able to hit that Glacial Lance, surely the Lunala goes down, right? Or it gets into that range where you're going to have that U-turn knock it out.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
if Nick had made a different read, you can avoid the double protect battering at all. It doesn't happen there. Nick is able to quite make the right read. Almost had it anyway, where I think maybe one of those reads he's making, all right, if I get the read right, I win. If I get the read wrong, I still like my odds. Didn't wind up working out that time, but I think that was just a fascinating game 1 to start this set with in so many different ways. If I'm Nick, I was really expecting a different game plan from my opponent, and I think that makes this team preview really tricky. Now, as you know, on the brink of elimination, where this is the final round of Swiss, so these players must win this set to stay in the tournament, but also now Nick's down 0-1. He had a very kind of unconventional approach from his opponent there.
So we got a guy in the red. I don't know either of these guys' names, so I'm not gonna pick the winner, but he's up 1-0. It looks like he got a little lucky. So we'll see how things change and how they kind of make how the guy on the left side tries to make a comeback here. I was gonna grab a snack, but actually, I'm just gonna grab it for a snack. We have cupcakes we bought the other day because my girlfriend wanted some. They're like small ones, not the big ones. And I was like gonna eat one of those, but I was like, nah, it's too messy and probably has more calories in it than a pack of fruit snack. I'm trying to get a 6-pack, man. I wanted to have a 6-pack like at the start of summer, and that should just did not work out. Let it be because I was not committed enough or whatever, but here we go.
Using the same team once again, and
we'll watch this full set,
a team that's strong enough to give them the World Championships as we see familiar Pokemon starting the battle here.
We sure do. So we'll see this turn play out exactly like we did in that game number 1. The Kyogre sets the rain, Torkoal takes it away, and then Fluttermane gets a very nice accidental photosynthesis boost.
Because you got Kyogre, Groudon.
Where, again, this is a pretty aggressive lead by the sun side of the field, right? Where Torkoal kind of exposed, Lunala kind of exposed. You don't really have an option of a really defensive setup here. You can try to go for a Trick Room. I think that would be a little scary, but maybe it works this time, right? After that really aggressive play the previous time, it kind of puts Nick on the back foot, like, oh, I don't want to take that huge expanding force again that made that matchup really tricky. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. I really think this is such an intricate matchup to try to play a best of 3 in. I do think taking that first game was just such a huge advantage mentally.
Absolutely. You could see actually Nick is really struggling for this first turn to kind of figure out what to do.
Yeah,
knowing how that turn 1 of game 1 really played out, the Indeedee switched in, the Lunala went for this gigantic expanding force, and it already put that Kyogre quite low in HP for later on in the game. And as we see this game 2 play out, it's the Ice Rider Calyrex as a small adjustment here from Chihong, which makes me think maybe it is a Trick Room angle.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if I could have clicked Taunt here if I was Nick, where it just seems like it's so risky if you get what you had in the previous game. But get the Terastallization once again, I think that just kind of makes sense given this matchup. Lunala can't afford to take too much damage from this Kyogre. It did do a decent amount of damage Water Spout even in the sun last time.
Well, the Moonblast helps to break this Shadow Shield again as the Kyogre follows that up with the Water Spout. But this Lunala is still so healthy, and Chihong knows this Trick Room is so free. And you've got 2 fantastic Pokemon in the Trick Room to take advantage of it right away.
And what an incredible way to do this, right? Where we don't really see any of the support Pokemon, still gets the turn 1 Trick Room, doesn't really get any significant damage.
Trick Room makes sense because Lunala's a slower Pokemon,
has the weather control, and has both of them restricted on the field for all turns of Trick Room.
I wish I could see the other guys.
I could quite have imagined this when we were looking at the matchup before the match started, but I'm just really impressed by this player. It's just such expert play on a team archetype that doesn't usually work at this level if you're playing in a really telegraphed way. This is some special gameplay that we're seeing.
But that's exactly what you called out the taunt on the Fluttermane, and I think this is the reason why. How easy is it for you to lock down any of the 3 Trick Room Pokemon on the team with that taunt specifically? And so if you're Nick, you just have to look at trying to stall out these turns of Trick Room.
He attacked the Calyrex.
Oddly enough, Chihong is taking this first one to just go for a protect onto this Ice Rider Calyrex, but He is feeling it.
He knows he has the
beam into the Flutter Mane. You
he
are
knows
going to be dealing massive amounts of damage, putting this Flutter Mane down to its focus sash. But that means on the subsequent turns, Ice Rider Calyrex is faster. This Flutter Mane does not have too much longer left in the second game.
Protect.
Oh, and it attacks into the protect. So Nick's not going to get anything out of that turn. And just like you said, that Flutter Mane, Nick would almost have been better off if that was knocked out there. Now has a very quick 1 HP Pokemon in Trick Room, which makes it a very slow 1 HP Pokemon. And Calyrex like, ooh, that looks good. I feeling a little chilling nay coming up here. So tough spot for Nick. And you know, he also, if you want to switch out of battle, try to avoid giving the attack boost, that's really risky too. It's really Kyogre you'd love to switch out here in order to try to get a position where you can get control of the weather again.
This is so
things are looking really bleak for Nick here. This matchup seems so good, but it's just such a strange way to play the matchup. So clever on his opponent's side, and Nick just hasn't been able to find any answers here.
I think either way, you have to give up the Flutter Mane here. Everything that looks like it's in the back, you don't want to switch in your Ice Rider Calyrex to be able to take 2 attacks. And especially if you suspect that something like a Shadow Ball might be going that way too, or Moongeist Beam, not something that you want to deal with. So Nick, unfortunately, in the second game, has to give up this Chilling Nay boost over to this Ice Rider Calyrex, and that's where things can start to get very spicy. Because as soon as Ice Rider Calyrex is off to the races, it really can't start to run away with things. And now the Meteor Beam from this Lunala too. Both of these Pokemon are huge threats.
So yeah, I'd like a boost too, and after all that damage, Kyogre is almost going to get knocked out as well. Itself winding up as potential Glacial Lance bait. Hydro Pump's going to come in with that reduced damage from Drought. Really just not enough, and Calyrex is going to enter the battle here with an awful lot of work to do. One of its friends has already been knocked out. It's funny, Kyogre is pretty low in HP as well, and well, normally a Calyrex entering the field during Trick Room is so exciting. Neither of these Pokemon look quite ready to be knocked out. I just have to worry about a potential wide guard, and maybe if you're a Nick side, like, okay, well, I'm threatening this, I can try to reverse the Trick Room, but if you do that and just get double attacked, the game is going to end. So really important play for Nick here. Can you get away with this Glacial Lance? Can you get away with a Leech Seed? Is Trick Room going to be available? If Nick doesn't get this call right, it is over.
It looks so safe though for Chi-Hong to just go for the...
This guy can basically do anything he wants. Chi-Hong can basically play however he wants. If I was Nick, this is your last game. You have to make a big play. I think you should have just fucking swapped out the Kyogre and got him out of there. But if you're gonna do anything, double protect. Double protect this turn, play slow, let the turn run. You know, or Glacial Lance too. I think that's probably pretty smart. But I would just double protected, use up some PP and shit, and then next turn just sack your Kyogre with a like try to hit a water spout and then just sack your Kyogre for a free switch, and then just kind of play off your last 2 Pokemon. That's kind of all you have to do, because you have to get a kill here. You either have to take Lunala or you have to take Calyrex. Both of them you don't really do a lot of damage to, so you kind of have to be ready to like kind of go for a big play. And like Leech Seed is cool and all, but I don't really think it does much. I think Leech Seed does stop him from swapping, so that's a good trap, but it obviously does give you some HP, but it only gives you as much HP as like as long as you don't get 1 hit. But Calyrex seems like he's pretty tough. I don't really know. I haven't really used him, so. But yeah, all right. We can go.
But I still have a turn here where I'm threatening a knockout in that slot. So
I do think
Kyogre, you're going to switch out, or I'm going to pick that knockout out, and still feeling pretty good. We see the final Pokemon is Rillaboom here. Also not a Pokemon who looks super excited about the idea of taking a boosted Glacial Lance.
Yeah,
and
you have to get Calyrex.
Once Trick Room expires, things get a little bit scary here. Kyogre would love Trick Room to expire. The Calyrex would not, facing down that boosted Lunala and losing its speed advantage potentially. So still a tough spot for Nick.
It is, and I think that's where we have to look at this next critical turn here from Chi-Hong to actually now, as we see here, preserve the Lunala. After getting that Meteor Beam boost, it feels bad again, but Chi-Hong said it's okay in that first game, and it worked out beautifully for him. And now you've got your Torkoal back onto the field to hopefully get through these next couple of turns, and you are also going to be able to take this Ice Rider Calyrex just a little bit better. But we see Chi-Hong is able to go first. You've got this attack boost onto this Ice Rider Calyrex. It's just a one-hit knockout onto the Rillaboom, and so now
sagged.
He's stuck
with
just
so bad.
Kyogre next to the Ice Rider Calyrex. But at least you get weather control for 2 turns.
Yeah, it's like Kyogre's gonna be able to come back in. I'm not gonna say for free, but first this Glacial Lance will come down. The damage does matter. You're going to see the Leech Seed attack this Calyrex at the end of the turn as well, and the HP is going to start adding up here. Not a whole lot of health left for this Calyrex. will heal a little bit before the lead sheet comes in with the grassy terrain, and after about 47 different end-of-turn effects, the Calyrex and Nick side is going to be very healthy, but its teammates will not. Kyra going to switch back in eventually with its low HP, and while Trick Room is going to expire and the Drizzle is going to be set for Nick, he had to pay just an incredible amount of resources to get through this Trick Room. Really only got the lead sheet on the opposing Calyrex and a bit of damage in well, more than a bit of damage
because he has still 4 Pokemon
in exchange for his Rillaboom, his Flutter Mane, and almost all of his Kyogre's HP.
This is a tough turn, though, and Nick is going to have to hope this Origin Impulse lands onto both targets.
Trick Room is gone, right? So he should outspeed here.
Calyrex is surely going to pick up the final bit of HP on Chihong's, but Kyogre
I think you have to go for the Calyrex. You can get rid of the Calyrex, Kyogre probably survives.
For the rest of this game, too,
and
Nick needs this Origin Impulse to land.
Yeah, I mean, it would pick up both knockouts if it happened. However, on the other side of the field, like, well, I could give up those 2 KOs if I think my 2 back Pokemon beat these 2 Pokemon. But since Nick can't switch anymore, you have a lot of freedom on the other side of the field, right? Okay, well, I can pick what 2 Pokemon wind up on the field at the end of his turn. Maybe I sacrifice one of these Pokemon, I need the other for the end game. We do see a switch here. He's like, all right, I need Torkoal. I'm going to get control of the weather. My path through the game is a little bit different than just allowing these 2 sacrifices.
And the Ndidi now gets revealed as Chihong's 4th and final. Same Pokemon then that we saw in that first game, just in a bit of a different order. And this Calyrex Ice going for the Protect does make things just a little bit trickier, as we see it's able to hang on for a little bit longer. Next turn, though, if it gets knocked out, maybe we see this Ndidi be able to go for the Trick Room.
Ooh, big damage,
and
big damage.
Just has to get sacrificed
that might kill.
Here.
It might get killed.
The Origin Pulse connects, and with this Glacial Lance to follow it up, now Nick actually kind of comfortably back in this. Full HP Calyrex almost, and you have a boost of your own.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you don't hate that if you're Nick, right? But you get the knockout, the Pokemon count is getting similar. What's scary is that, his opponent chose that, right? That was the most likely outcome of his actions. That's probably what he expected to occur there. The only other thing that really could have happened was a Trick Room. The Calyrex still almost going to get knocked out here, so it looks like it only has a single turn left if nothing changes. But the assumption then is like, okay, well, I thought that Nick would do that. I thought that giving up this Pokemon is the right move, and this is the combination of Pokemon that I need.
Could he not double protect?
Am I crazy for that? Can't protect. So the assumption here is like, all right, this is the decisive turn.
Because
this is the 2 Pokemon.
Would kill the Calyrex.
Calyrex either going down or switching, which seems unlikely here because the likelihood that winds up being a little scary for the Torkoal. So we'll have to see what these trainers have in mind.
That's what he just did.
And you can bring in the Torkoal, I guess, to get rid of the rain, but then
I don't think he can swap out Calyrex
Kyogre with this Mystic Water has still been pushing a ton of damage through that weather control. But the problem with this Lunala, then do you feel forced to actually have to go for the wide guard to block this Ice Rider Calyrex damage? Chihong in that first game was able to get some pretty ballsy turns right, but this is going to have to go correct as well.
Yeah, keep in mind, 2 of Kyogre's attacks are spread moves as well, so do you anticipate a wide guard, the Hydro Pump in? A lot of really interesting options as the Terastallization comes down.
Terra Fairy is going to be the Terastallization of choice for Nick as we see the rest of this turn play out. Kyogre first to protect, and Chihong may be able to weave something in here like a Trick Room, but the Lunala just tries to go for the Expanding Force, and this is the KO onto the Kyogre, and is able to do a significant chunk to this Calyrex, but of course you were probably hoping to get a little bit more. And now with the Ice-type Glacial Lance, Terra Grass Lunala is down for the count, and Nick gets away with 2 boosts now to this Calyrex Ice Rider with only that Torkoal left. It's a looking grim.
Hey, the type trait doesn't matter too much when you have that much boosted attack, and Torkoal's going to come in and theoretically have some advantage. It's going to have its drought up against Kyogre. It's going to, be healthy or something. But
at least 2 hit, if not 1 tap.
It looks so bad for Nick, right? He was really behind there, but was able to battle back in this one. Kyogre staying in the field's a big deal too. Continues to add complication for this Torkoal, and maybe the wrong Pokemon was preserved after all.
Now, Glacial Lance is going to be resisted by this Torkoal, but because of how the 3 boosts now that this Ice Rider Calyrex has gotten, you're so right. Sometimes it doesn't matter. It just matters that you've got a ton of damage. I'm not going to do the math there. But this, I mean, this Kyogre, does it just finish it off before the Ice Rider can? And it, I mean, there you go. Origin Pulse in the rain is also going to be single target into a super effective Torkoal. So that is going to be Nick Navarre tying up this series. We've got one game apiece, and it all comes down to this third game to see who will move forward to this World Championship.
I thought he was already down 1. I was
what
like,
a
oh, he's
fun
playing
set
stupid,
this has
but
been
nah.
so far.
Good,
Nick had a tough start to that game, really had to give up a lot.
That's crazy. That Kyogre was his win condition, I get. No, the Calyrex was his win condition. That Calyrex, I thought Leash was kind of stupid, but I think I'm pretty sure it stopped other Calyrex from switching out, which I forgot about before he played it. So I can see that that probably was the play. And then the Rillaboom stack, I guess, was just to give the extra HP to Calyrex because he had a near full HP after that. So I was just, because I was a stupid idiot, I was looking at the HP bars more than anything. But and I think Chin Hong, I think he looked cocky. I think he thought he had it. I think he was like, oh, I'm up 1. I'm gonna play crazy, you know. And then he kind of threw the game. He could have easily taken it there, and now he might lose. Tensions are back up. It's basically like the game is 0-0 now. Except whoever wins wins.
We mentioned in team preview too. I do still feel like all things equal, Nick's team kind of has the advantage there. And I think it's some of why that was able to swing back, where it really is important for the Sun team to keep the advantage.
Yeah, he was running kind of like a Sun team, but I think it was more just the matchup against an Ice type Calyrex, especially after getting 1 boost. That Lunala Grass, Terra type Grass Lunala gets just fucked. And like it is like the matchup was just bad because you had Kyogre with water type damage against Torkoal, and that's why he brought, I'm assuming, Grass Terra type Lunala was for Kyogres. But in this matchup, he also had to face an Ice type Calyrex, and that just makes your Lunala take super effective damage to that, and that already was probably gonna do quite a bit. So yeah, I can see how that kind of gets cooked. That was just a bad team matchup. I don't know. And then indeed he literally did nothing in that game. It was literally just a sack. Probably, I don't know what team I would go with because I'm not in the situation. I'm not like a team builder or nothing, but I feel like he probably just sacrificed the wrong Pokemon. Probably, he probably shouldn't have just left Torkoal in the back against 2 very strong Pokemon. I also think based on his reaction, he didn't expect to get double KO'd. He probably knew he's gonna lose his what's it called? His Calyrex in that turn, but like guarantee because of Leech Seed. But I think he thought Lunala might survive. So game 3, final game. I know I was gonna say for
one direction or another, but
we'll just watch
despite everything we've seen in the first 2 games, these trainers are both like, hey, I like what I've done in the previous games. I think that these same lead combination is going to send me to the top cut of this World Championships.
It's gonna have to be make or break for either Chihong or Nick. They can see.
Are they just gonna play like the same game basically, or will Nick make some crazy predictions
again,
here?
as we saw in games 1
last time
and 2,
was what? It was a protect.
The same
I think you just taunt it, right?
And
unless he's gonna
preliminary
maybe.
turn.
Yeah, this is such a tricky turn for
Nick
here as well.
They're going to taunt him now this turn because last time he got off, and so
neither of which are actually that great. Where the Shadow Shield for this Lunala is so irritating, right? Where you'd love to just taunt it to kind of limit its options, but if you do that, then your Kyogre's barely going to be able to do anything between Drought and a potential Terastallization again. But it still worked out last game for Nick, right? Where you kind of got like the worst case scenario and it was still okay. So do you make the same move again, or do you think, hey, you know, I don't know if I can survive giving that much up? Nick doing a great job of taking all his time, thinking this through. This is a choice with a lot of consequences. We'll have to see what the trainers choose to do here.
Yeah, really big, risky call because if Chihong decides to go all out onto the attack, this could backfire in a major way. But with the Torkoal taking its lead, we will see it replaced with the Urshifu. What a big change up here for the second game, but caught into the Lunala, and there's also no Terra Water Spout now going through with full HP. This Urshifu
half damage on the Urshifu is crazy in Drought.
With the
Kyogre is so
move
crazy.
in, and Lunala gets its trick room completely shut out.
Yeah, things looking great for Nick there.
All right, and now he's not full HP, so that shot
probably thinking, oh, I didn't trick him the first 2 games. Surely I can get away with it in game 3, but not so fast. Nick calls the taunt. Urshifu going to switch in. That is the single strike Urshifu, not the rapid strike Urshifu that we know and love. This Urshifu really prefers to be under trick room, going to have a hard time with that Fluttermane who has that huge type advantage. The Kyogre that has a speed advantage. And suddenly Nick's looking really good after seeming so doomed at the beginning of game 2.
I mean, this is what we should expect out of such an experienced experienced player like Nick Navarre. He's been playing VGC for almost over a decade. Not only a two-time regional champion, but also having multiple top cut performances in these huge international competitions. And he's able to get that call right in these game threes. You know he's been here before. The work's not cut out just yet, as Nick is going to be moving into this next turn with a Rillaboom switch in, and this Flutter Mane has full control right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Flutter Mane kind of just got knocked out quickly the previous game. This time it's out for revenge. It's the quickest Pokemon on the field, no longer has to worry about any potential Trick Room shenanigans. Lunala forced to Terastallize, even though it's in a pretty awkward spot here without weather control and facing these Pokemon down. Sucker Punch going to fail with another clever switch, and Nick's made yet another read.
And the Moonblast here will finish off that Urshifu for good for this third game.
Shinhan, walk in, bro.
Goes down.
He definitely looks a bit younger and a bit cockier.
I think he knows.
I think he definitely
it's
thought
gonna
Nick
be
was,
a tough uphill battle from here. Maybe you're able to weave in just a bit more damage with the Meteor Beam from the Lunala as you get this special attack boost and the Power Urge to be able to make it go quickly. That unfortunately has to hit into the Rillaboom, and the Assault Vest and the Typing allows it to hang on with so much more HP.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've seen Nick take a Pokemon advantage other than a 2-0 and 2-1 at the end of the previous game. The field effects, even when he was at the Pokemon disadvantage, kind of like slowly trended toward his favor because of natural type advantages. I think having the Pokemon advantage is even more devastating here. Calyrex going to come out. It could also potentially use a Trick Room here, but Flutter Mane able to use a Taunt if it's needed, and Nick's got a pretty great positioning here, making Urshifu look a little Urshifoolish that previous turn, and he could be right about to send himself to the top cut.
I mean, it's tough here too, because this
he's like sitting back,
not only can it not Terastallize, but you're staring down a Flutter Mane that's able to hit you with a Shadow Ball. This Rillaboom, we've seen how much it can do on top of grass terrain with the Wood Hammers. That might just be enough for a knockout.
Yeah, I mean, either of these Pokemon could be in a lot of danger here, and that Terastallization's already been committed. In the previous games, the grass Terastallization for Lunala has been so impactful, but this game it hasn't done anything, and it makes this turn a lot easier to play for Nick because he knows there's no Terastallization to worry about.
And you can just go for the fake out onto the Ice Rider Calyrex and go for that extra offensive game plan on the next turn.
No stab,
Moonguy's Beam will help out a little bit to make sure that this Flutter Mane is a bit easier to manage, but you still have the speed control. Because that fake out was onto that Ice Rider Calyrex, you cannot set up Trick Room this turn.
Yeah, and now it's sort of a tricky spot. Previously in this set, that 1 HP Flutter Mane has looked like fast food for the Calyrex, but this time it's going to be a pretty expensive meal with it being the quickest Pokemon on the field. If you want to pick that knockout up, you have to take a lot of risk where attacks between these two Pokemon could likely pick up the knockout in the Calyrex. The great thing, though, is that the taunt has just worn off. So now potentially either these Pokemon use Trick Room. All of the options are available for both trainers, but Nick is still right on the precipice again. But he was right on the precipice of losing before, and it was able to be turned around. So we'll have to see if his opponent can do the same thing.
Still not over yet, especially if you are managed to get that Trick Room set up on either of these Pokemon. Torkoal can come in and at least deal a little bit of damage while the Kyogre is still waiting in the back. But that is the tricky thing. This Kyogre is still quite healthy and waiting in the back. It's really, really tough from here as this Flutter Mane is going to commit its Terra.
Yeah, I wonder if you're trying to see maybe a Moonblast and a U-turn could pick up the knockout in this Lunala, which maybe sets up a world where the Kyogre could finish the game off.
Well, the Moonblast into the Lunala first, and it is going to take it down quite low. The special attack drop will eliminate the Meteor Beam special attack increase that it got, and that U-turn does the job. Chihong in this third game is down to his final two Pokemon. This Ice Rider Calyrex, if it's able to set up this Trick Room, then might be a little bit better off. But you've got this Rillaboom that can come back in at any moment and make sure that you've got a bit more control.
For now, it's going to be the Calyrex at Nick's side of the field, entering the battlefield once again. Can take any attacks here pretty well and kind of just be a nice pivot here without sending Kyogre back out and changing the weather before Torkoal comes back in.
In the Glacial Lands, I think Chihong would have loved to be able to pick off that Rillaboom on the other side, but you will settle for a low HP Flutter Mane and getting the Terastallization out of Nick's arsenal for the rest of the game.
Yeah, at least get some resources, and that Chilling Neigh will give an attack boost, and we saw how big of a difference that can make even in a troublesome game in Game 2 for the Calyrex at Nick's side of the field, but things are a little bit bleaker here. No Trick Room setup this time. Torkoal going to need to enter the battlefield as the final Pokemon on his side of the field. field. Rillaboom is going to come out for Nick here, enabling him to switch out into Kyogre whenever he wants to and get the weather control for the remainder of this battle.
That is tough though, because you are in a spot where
But like, see, like that is similar to like how the last Pokemon set up in the last game, which with Torkoal, but Torkoal is just a worse Pokemon than Kyogre, like dead ass. Like Torkoal is only good because he can take a bit, and that drought is his ability. But like he is a pretty bad fucking Pokemon. Kyogre is a great Pokemon who also has weather control, so
something for the rest of this game.
Yeah, that's true. Where Eruption is pretty scary here. Where normally you'd love to use it, but even if you get one big Eruption off, then what, right? Where there's no way you're ending this turn with speed control, because I think that the fake out is almost certainly going to come down to the Calyrex. I think it's a pretty telegraphed play. And yeah, I think the fake out onto the Calyrex is switching to the Kyogre is really tough to deal with. The Torkoal can't protect next turn, so if Kyogre doesn't miss one of its spread moves, it's just going to knock the Torkoal out, and this Calyrex is going to be isolated against 3 Pokemon, potentially one of which can Leech Seed it.
As the Kyogre comes in, it sets the rain and sets the pace for the rest of this third game. Jihong is going to play it a little bit safe too with this Ice Fire Calyrex deciding to go for the Protect, so Rillaboom isn't quite able to land the mark, but Torkoal has to lock into something, and it is going to be the Weather Ball. So that's...
They're not quite able to knock out its own protecting Calyrex. Yeah, maybe we're having a little fun here, given that this game has kind of gotten out of hand, and kind of regardless of what happened there, maybe wanting to deliberately not knock the Rillaboom out and provide his free switch there. Regardless, though, I think Nick really likes his positioning here, where not really any way to avoid a water spout knock on the Torkoal. This Wood Hammer is going to come down, and at the end of his turn, I think Nick will have an insurmountable advantage.
Yeah, Jihong is already getting ready to shake Nick's hand after the water spout is able to secure the final 2 knockouts, and congratulations, Nick Navarre finds himself once again in a top 32 of the World Championships with another chance to win it all.
Yeah, what an impressive victory there, where I can't believe he didn't faint in the middle of that one, where for the game 1 with the game
that was crazy.
He was so
after
far
losing
down
game 1 to be so far down.
I think he was able to persevere. It's just so impressive for him as a player. I know he's had some really tough matches on stream, especially at the end of Swiss rounds and these win and ins on stream. Things haven't just kind of gone his way in those matches, and I think it was just such an impressive victory where it would have been so easy to collapse there. I don't think anyone would have blamed him. His opponent was playing so well, sort of a tough, sort of.
I like that you can see what's. I
like to read into, and he was able to find the right.
On mute. I think it's cute. They're probably talking about the game too. I think that's cute. Dude, everyone is still in the chat talking about Wolfie. I get that Wolfie's big and shit, but everyone just still spamming this crazy. What is this Ho-Oh person, bro? Someone brought a Ho-Oh and apparently it's going crazy. Why does this one have 4.8k watch? Oh, it's a trading card game. It's the TCG. Sorry, my bad. Big win for Nick there. That will probably be the end of our react though. A FNAF theory. No, it's okay. I'll watch it on my own time. Yeah. I did want to watch more. That kind of got me hyped to watch more, but I'm chilling. Yeah, it's 120. By the time the next game starts, it'll probably be like 20 minutes. It'll be 140, and then I probably should be like getting ready for work because I'm still in my fucking pajamas. Like I brushed my teeth and put my deodorant on and shit, but I should probably be like getting ready for work. So we're just gonna wrap a couple final games through, Bill, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Maybe we'll hit what is it? Elite? I don't think no, it's Diamond. Maybe we'll hit Diamond before I get off. I wish they had a I don't know. Leaderboard for people who are ranked. Damn, bro, that Red Bull's fucking me up. I don't drink soda and caffeine enough anymore, so that should always fuck me. Queuing up, here we go. I'm gonna throw on some music. I'm kind of feeling it. Just gonna throw something on in the background, probably. I don't know why my Windows key is just dead ass just broken. Is it broken if I minimize? Hold on, let me minimize Fortnite real quick. Hold on. Windows. Wait, my key actually just broken for some reason. I don't know how that happened, but for some reason my Windows key is actually just broken. Okay. Okay. That's awesome. Actually, the lack of Windows being the small is just annoying. And I decided I wanted to keep the copyright off if I can for the stream. Might be too late though, but not because I'm making money, but just because if I can avoid copyright, I want my channel to not have a bunch of copyright marks and shit. Alright. We got definitely the time for 1, maybe 2. Now I'm talking like full games, like if we go to end games actually, so we'll see how I'm feeling for a second one. I think if I stream later tonight, it'll probably just be off my PS5. It'll probably be a much chiller, shorter stream, but I definitely am having a lot of fun, and again, I'm trying to grind, so, you know, and I have that ability. If I can, I will. If not, that's chill too. Like, don't expect it. Like, yesterday I had to stream that night because the day before I literally said, I'm sure not most people care, but the day before I literally said, I'm going to stream tomorrow, and then I accidentally came up and I wasn't able to, and I have no shit. So I gotta get better at X, and I have my Instagram green reset up that I had, like my gaming Instagram. And so I'm gonna start posting updates on both, but I really don't want to download X on my phone because I had a really bad problem in high school of just downloading X for literal hours. And that's hours of my life I will never get back, so I'm trying to like not do that anymore myself again. Fucking legendary. No, get me out! Ah! Oh my god. Dumbass. But yeah, what was I saying earlier about my plans? Oh yeah, for the channels. Yeah, that's kind of like my thing. Like I don't know how long. Like I will probably still continue to upload occasionally and like stream and shit. But I think I'm gonna try to go really hard for the next few months, which is something I was gonna do before the summer, but I kind of just threw it all away. And I did that with my just like jobs too. I just feel like it's really like, I mean, I chilled out for most of the summer, which I think was smart because I really haven't had chill summer since I was like 14. So like I still was working and shit, but I kind of took a step back from everything. But yeah, I just don't want to be 20 years old and still uploading to a 0 viewer stream and still fucking barely even doing that shit. So that's kind of like my thought process, just to lock the fuck in, buy a capture card, buy a webcam, because I'm thinking like I'm just gonna invest into it, because if it makes me money back, or if it doesn't make me money back, I'm gonna sell it for cheaper on like Facebook Marketplace or something. So like at the end of the day, like the capture card I think right now is like, that's a good one's like 140. So worst case, I use it for a couple months, it doesn't go my way, sell it on my Facebook Marketplace for like, try to put over like 100, just it's more like a sell, because people are getting on that shit for cheaper, you know. If it doesn't sell then lower to like 70, if it doesn't sell then 50, and then if it still doesn't sold, then I guess I'll just hold on to it. Why not? I'm not taking anything less than 50. If it costs me 140, bro. That's the same thing for like webcam, but webcam is less prioritized than capture card, because that's kind of why I'm not uploading anything right now. I'll have a capture card so I can capture all my gameplay on my PC and then also my PlayStation on there to make it easier to edit and shit. But yeah, I think the first video upload I already mentioned this guys to you is how good can a watching controller player get in 7 days on keyboard and mouse. That will probably be 0 build gameplay for the most part, because I need to get used to like just playing on a keyboard. And so yeah. And then I have other games like Ferrari and shit, so streams will definitely be there. I don't know how long they'll get if they're not doing like crazy viewership and whatnot. They'll probably start slow. What's funny is I feel like new streamers normally go super long and they'll stream like 8 hours a day every day when they're starting out, but my plan was going to be like reverse. They like start out like slow, like 2 or 3 hours of stream, sometimes even less. And then work my way up to 8 hours a day if I'm getting more viewers and shit, because, you know, people are in here chatting to me, then I'll be more likely to talk, and then, you know, I can have, like, my friends hop on games with me, and my girlfriend can hop on games with me and stuff. I do think I'll treat streaming almost like a job, though, where I'll try to do it, like, I think right now I'll try to do it, like, 6 to 7 days a week, but if I end up becoming big in that shit, I'll probably just do it 5 days a week, take 2 days off. Or, like, have 2 days where I'm only on, like, I'm only live for, like, an hour on those days, because... Oh my god, fucking get out of my fucking way! down from the fucking atmosphere. I don't feel like spending out my life chasing. Not a single one of those landed? What the fuck? I wish I had one of those. Damn. I like how I've done like probably like 500 damage with 0 elims. Because the last 3 people have all had shockwave launchers, so they just run away. I had no time to sprint. This guy just sitting on the ceiling with a fucking... Of course, as soon as I get fucking shockwave grenade launcher. This is my turn. Nah, it's okay. Annoying, but whatever. He just sat on top of the building, and there's just fucking bugs chasing me the whole game. That's the only reason why I don't want to land there, bro. Like, it's obviously great to have the gun, but dealing with the bugs generally makes me want to crash out. The marksman shotgun is crazy. Like, it was nerfed, and so I've been treating it like a pump, but it's much more closer to, like, attack. Or, like, the combat shotgun. Like, oh my god. Excuse me, oh my god. What is bro doing? There's a little cat bed underneath my setup, my little cat, and he's massaging it right now, like making bread basically. Looks like he's making bread, but occasionally he just attacks his other paw. I don't know what he thinks is going on. But he's very close to the bread right now. Alright, this will be my final one. My friend got down. My greed for a shotgun launcher got me killed. If I had a shotgun launcher earlier in the game, then I wouldn't have the to play like that, so. And I had no tags for any left, I'm pretty sure. Or I kept pressing the button and it wasn't fucking doing anything. This building's to go. Although last game it was not to go. Maybe I didn't like the last game. popping the flowberry is kind of crazy. Assuming you can only open them when you have a medallion. That's my assumption. And since I know that's like a kind of like a bunker thing, I don't want to fight someone in there. Because free movement is kind of like my specialty. Excuse me, someone else heading for that. What the hell? I thought it would be easier. Rocket launcher. Besides the exotic. I mean, the exotic's nice and shit, but... I have to play a game without a launcher. I thought that shit was damn near guaranteed. Either I got, all of us got super unlucky, or someone got a shotgun launcher, they dipped, and probably driving up this hill right now. You just got out of the car up there? Do I make a crazy play, chat? Double pumping? What the hell? For a second, I wasn't even double pumping. How was he switching that fast? Or was he just switching to something else? Alright, I guess I'll never know. Alright, that's okay. I should've just played slower. Alright, I gotta get off before I'm late for work, bro. So, thank you guys for tuning in the stream. We got some wins, we got some losses. Watch some Pokemon. Pretty chill stream to me. I will either see you guys later tonight. That's a big fat maybe, or I will be live. What's tomorrow, Sunday? Ooh, I don't know. Normally I'd be live Sunday, but I've been working. I have to work. Like, my days off should be Wednesday, Sunday, but right now I've said I'll work Sunday to get trained at this new job because I only have Thursdays and Sundays free, so I didn't keep one day off. So kind of, I don't know. I was gonna stream Sunday, but I might not be able to live tomorrow. But I might be live tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you guys Monday. Anyway, I'm out. Goodbye now. Have a great day, everybody. I was about to walk away from my PC as if I don't have to end stream like this. So I'll just close out of Fortnite. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. I'll see you guys next time.